diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Stu and Elisa here, Patriots Across the Pond, Midweek Metals with Matt Geiger, though he's not here yet, episode 19, and we're so happy to have you guys. Wow, I'm so happy today because A, it's a beautiful day, and B, George is starting to take off on Wednesday, so we started the day early. I got my car for its service, and the best part about getting my car serviced is that it was free. I still have like the free from the dealership. All I did was drop it off, came and picked it up with a receipt. They inspected it, and I didn't have to lay out a dime. So I was very happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to have a waffle on for a little while because Matt's not here. It might turn
I texted him, so I don't know, and I'm gonna, because I'm older than him, so I can do this. I'm gonna just say that I gave him the option because I know he's been crazy. He's been traveling all over the States, and I think he's in Tennessee. So I gave him the option if it was not, convenient, but he said it was. So where are you, brother?
Yeah, where are you? Maricopa Matt. There's new sheriff in town. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, car fixed is expensive, isn't it? But I'm an ex-car mechanic, so I tend to do it all myself unless I have to get it up in the air or anything like that, and I've got a ramp. But if I do have to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, how are you? It is so hot here. It is probably, in your language, about 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right, that's not that hot. Like, we get up to the high 80s here on Long Island.
Every one of you's got air conditioning coming out the floor.
Absolutely. I'm not even going to argue with that.
We don't have that here.
Yeah.
Well, we've got radiators to keep us warm in the cold, and then we have to open our windows.
For the cool when it's hot out. Well, we've heard some rumors. You and I were chatting about this earlier, that it may be all similar. I will say similarly to what the United States experienced over the winter with the snow everywhere, and that this heat might be not a natural phenomenon, and that there may be upcoming some lockdowns of some sort. Maybe they'll use the weather to say that, oh, gee, we got to shut things off because we don't want to, have a problem. And we can probably attribute that if that happens, that there's probably more cleanups going on, or they need to kind of make it seem like that's what's going on for the abnormies.
Well, no one knows what's going to happen, do they? We all want different scenarios of the EBS. We all want an EBS. Some people don't think it's going to happen. Some people think it'd be localised EBSs. I can't say things like that. Some people think there's going to be an 8-hour movie played on repeat for 10 days. It never says anywhere that we're going to have 10 days of darkness, in the Q drops, does it? It says there will be 10 days period, darkness period.
Could you refer to those Q drops? Because you and I were chatting about it, but it's always nice to give the audience a little update on exactly what those Q drops were, what they said, and how a lot of people, out there have kind of twisted that to say something else. And then that leads to all kinds of other stories of what we're going to see.
Yeah, and I've just learned how to do something as well. I found out that if you press your finger on control and just slide the mouse wheel like that, it zooms in like that.
Oh.
Isn't that really, really good?
It is.
I've actually zoomed in too far. Hang on. Now, let me go back. Because
Wendy says, who fucking knows, right? We don't know.
Yeah, so Q drop 88. I should have known it was 88. This is what Trump had 2 flagpoles put up at the White House, didn't he? That were both 88 feet high. You know, there's comms in everything. But let's just see if I can zoom in on that. Looks like I've zoomed in too far again and lost it. Hold up. Don't know what I'm doing. Let's try that again. Just bear with me, people. I did have it, and then I was messing about and lost it. Right, Q drop 88. 10 days, full stop. Darkness, full stop. So that doesn't say 10 days of darkness. A lot of people think it, and we might get 10 days of darkness, but we don't know. Everyone that's watching this and been prepared for years has got a bit of money, has got some food prepared, you know, has got to give some cash, all these sorts of things. You know, they're not going to be shitting themselves if Trump does the tweet, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's 12 posts with darkness in there. So they're quite easy to search for. But there's also Don Kess. I don't know if that's got a period after it. 10 days. Q drop is that. That's November the 5th as well. Right? 10 days, period. Don Kess, period. Now, I'm sure people have decoded this and looked at all these things in the past, but we still don't know. You know, the whole point of the Q drops is to give us a lot of information to dig on, but never give us the full picture or give anything away, really, that was going to mess the plan up, if the plan could be messed up at that time. I want 10 days of darkness. You know, I do hope that we will still be able to communicate if there's 10 days of darkness. You know what I mean? Because if we get an EBS and we go into this sort of like, when we do get an 8-hour movie, right? Mm-hmm. I will be watching that avidly for 8 hours. Every bit of it. I'll probably be screenshotting it, recording it as I watch it. Probably be the first thing live that I've watched in a long time, actually. Ha, ha, ha. Right? But we'll be doing that. But then if it goes into the next movie and it's the same again for 8 hours, and it rolls over, I'm not going to be watching it a second time.
What are you going to be doing?
Oh, I'll go out cycling or something like that for a long bike ride. You know, if you can't talk to anyone, right, because all the communications are going down, there's a lot of people discussing the fact that the Signal app will still work. That we know. I've got an emergency comms group on there. Anyone that's got Signal might be, or not got Signal, might be worth having.
Yeah.
We are nowhere near ready to handle the truth yet. Here we go again. Boring.
Well, I think there's going to come a point whether we're not ready, well, not us, but where the rest of the people out there aren't ready. But is a bird ever ready to be thrown out of the nest? Probably not. Are your children ever really ready to go off to school? Probably not. But that's how you learn.
Yeah.
So, trying to think.
I'm excited. Everyone I'm watching, especially with the White House shit posting Q stuff, right? This is absolutely brilliant. I mean, Phil from QAG, who we had on a couple of weeks ago, he said, I think he said his phone was blowing off the hook. Anyway, he saw this post. He had to take the day off because the White House posted or used his template website to post a Q drop, the one they put that 47 in and
Really?
Stuff. Haven't you seen that?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, man. There was.
So here's another idea. This has been all over and everyone's on it. So is that why they have us looking this way? Because something else is going to happen?
This is what the White House posted. Yeah. Always trust. And then they took the Q drop template off. Because if you look, that's Q alerts.
Right.
This is Q ag. Right. That's what Phil's drops look like. And that's what the White House posted straight off his site. It's got all these icons here to do the same. 47, so Trump, they've done it as Q. They've put it on today's date. America built the world's leading quantum. There's all this talk about quantum and stuff. But they've actually posted a Q drop there. I mean, it's how more blatant is this going to get? And of course, the mainstream media are quiet about it. They're not saying a word. How more blatant? The White House is just going to have to start blatantly posting Q drops, or we are Q.
Okay, but wait a minute. I'm going to just throw something into this whole mix.
Okay.
We all think we're very smart and brilliant. We're awake. We're, not abnormies, right? And what if they're psyoping us right now because they know we have all been waiting for another post and we're all like, following this and understand. And what if we're being distracted because something else is going to happen and we're not looking that way?
Like what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How far out from the 4th of July? It's next Saturday.
We're 10 days. 10 days of darkness away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be epic if it went shut us down in the middle of our podcast? The EBS. Yeah. I'd absolutely love it.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I think we're sort of like a lot of people are thinking this has something to do with Q. And I think everything has to do with Q from the perspective that there's all these comms and all this stuff going on, since Q stopped officially posting, right? And all the things we see and the Fox News, right? All the stuff that they're giving us comms every day in every way. But this was like, it got everybody's attention, right? Within what? Like a few seconds or whatever, right? It was all over, especially Telegram. So I don't know. Maybe something bigger is going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's building us up. It's building people up to the reveal of Q, or Q's coming back. We're going to have a Q&A. Why are the mainstream media? And it's still not, they pick up on Trump misspelling a word and put it everywhere. But when the White House posts fucking Q drop, they don't want none of it.
Right. Because
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's come out and done a speech yesterday in her car talking about it's all kayfabe. It's all getting the people interested and researching and prepared for what's coming. And I don't want a date fag on that, but it's coming. I actually know the truth and can tell you with absolute certainty that it was dropped on us right now. It will cause a civil war. Why don't you tell us the truth then and keep telling us you're the only one that knows the truth, Sleeping Giant? All right? You said you witnessed this in Queen Romana and stuff like that. Why don't you send us all the information?
Yeah, that would be great.
I'd be interested to see it. You lot don't know the truth and Queen Romana's this, and I want to see it. Email it to me. What have you got? You don't have the same stuff in every chat we have.
It would be good to have all that.
Yeah.
So we took a look at a video. You showed me a video that had to do with the RV. Now, I think if people don't know or they do know, we're not sort of like people that talk a lot about the RV. I don't really know what that means when it all comes down to it. I know there are people out there that are waiting, that think we're going to get all this notification. We got to go to redemption centers and all this stuff. I personally don't know if it's going to go down in that way. It may not. I don't exactly know what a redemption center is. Where are they? We're supposed to get these better rates if we go to a redemption center versus a bank. I don't really follow this in depth. There's a lot of folks out there who report on it and say things. And my feeling is, if the world financial system resets in some way, there's going to be a lot of abundance for everyone. And if you hold currency or you hold silver and gold, whatever, you have these things, maybe you'll have a little more, right? You'll get a little more. You'll have a little more in this abundance system. However, having said that, it's very interesting because through the years, they've been saying, the people that report on this and supposedly have insider connections, which I always doubt that, because if they have insider connections and they know that someone's going to report it to like 1 million people, it's all very pre-planned and very orchestrated. So, I don't believe it's like inside information per se. But we've been hearing through the years that the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, potentially the Venezuelan bolivar, that all of those are going to, have some kind of a decent return. So, maybe you'll get, at least the numbers they were touting for a long time were like 2 to 3. Maybe, you'll get $2 to $3 or US, whatever our, even if we have a new currency, back for every one of those foreign currencies. But this blew my mind, what we just recently heard.
What, this?
Yes.
All right, let's just play this then, because I haven't looked into this. I've only just seen it, but he's talking about. He didn't say Janet Yellen, did he? Oh, we'll watch it.
They've just released it now. Whether it was a comm that was sent out deliberately or if it was leaked, we do not know. But this came right off the www.gov out of the United States right now, and I recommend that you go out there and do your own research. But that being said, I just want to thank Judy Sheldon, who's got a lot of power inside the U.S. Treasury, and she has basically put the statement out that the dinar is going to be $40. So that's $40 to 1. The dong is going to be $29 to 1. And the zim can only be redeemed at a redemption center. I'm going to say this a couple of times. Yes, a dinar is $40 for the U.S. Treasury note. So you're going to get 40 U.S. Treasury note for every dinar you got. You're going to get 29 U.S. Treasury note for every dong you got. Isn't that spectacular? This is the new. They're bringing out these releases, and it's all done through either X or through the government, whatever, through Q to X through the government, however you want to cut it. And they're not going to be saying this stuff if this is not if it's not accurate. They're not going to give you, especially on the money, they're not going to give us disinformation.
Yeah. So, who knows? But what the hell is a redemption center? Like, does anybody know what it is? We've heard like, oh, they're not banks. They're going to be on military bases. But how are they going to tell us where to go? Right? Remember that whole thing? Oh, if you ever bought any of this currency, you're going to get an email. You're going to get a phone call. You're going to get an 800 number. I don't know. This sounds a little strange to you. I don't know.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, these redemption centres have always sounded strange to me. It is just odd. We've all got a bit of currency and gold and silver and crypto and things like that, but actually having redemption centres, I don't really know how that's going to work, if I'm honest with you.
And by the way, if the dinar or the dong, right, if it's official that there's a new rate, right? Why would you need to go to a redemption center? Why can't you go to a bank? Why can't you just go to a bank? I mean, the theory was that everybody was in the 4B category had to go to a redemption center because you were going to get this special rate.
Oh, yeah, but look, maybe the banks are the redemption centres.
Right, but what I'm saying...
I don't think they're going to open up a village hall and just have billions and billions of dollars worth of money in there and hand it over to people when they come in with a bit. It's got to be done through a bank or something like that because there's no security otherwise.
Right, but here's my point. This is my point. If the rate is, 2 to 3, if it's 40, do you know what I'm trying to say? How much more do you need? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? So what better rate are you going to get? Like, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of ego and greed in that statement. That's all I'm trying to say. If everything revalues and we're getting 2 dinars, for the dollar, we're getting 3, we're getting 4, we're getting 40, we're getting 29. If this whole theory of redemption centers, because there's this special negotiated rate and you get more for your money, what I'm trying to say is, how much more do we need? And that sounds to me, when you start getting into that sort of like, oh, you're getting more, you're going to have more than the next guy. It just sounds very 3D and very ego based, which leads me to believe that I don't think this is going to work like that.
No, nor do I.
If everything revalued for, like, if you have just numbers, you have $1 million dong that you bought for maybe, God, I don't even know. Maybe you got $1 million for like $60, $50. I don't know. If you bought it back in the day, maybe you got it for 40, and you got 50 cents. That would be tremendous, right? So if you're getting parity at $1, you're so ahead of the game. And if you get $2 or $3, that's phenomenal.
If you get $29, it's even better.
Of course, but I'm saying, so why can't we just go to a bank if that's the official rate, right? But maybe there's a fee. I don't know how all that works. I'm not banking, but
maybe it will. If we're moving on to a new system, if it is you'll be muted on YouTube as well in a minute. I've asked you to send me the information. You've got my email address. We don't do email and stuff like that. All you come in here is just bang on, and you upset all the lovely people that are trying to listen to what we're saying. So you might be muted on YouTube soon as well. We want everyone to be nice in our chat and stuff, and a lot of the time, you're just banging onto yourself. I'm sorry to say that.
Well, I just want to say something else too. If you do have a lot of information and you have a lot of proof, I think you should start your own channel.
Exactly.
I really do. If you feel, because to come on our channel where we have our thoughts and opinions and we try to bring the people that are in our chat, including you, and bring your comments into the live presentation that we're doing. But if you feel like everything we're doing is going against what is truth, that's fine. We never claim to know the truth. Then I think it would be a service for you to start your own channel. And then people can learn from whatever it is your research, your information, your experience is. But when you come in here and you just make these comments, and then, some of them, it's kind of saying we're all stupid, which is fine. We might be. I don't even have an ego about that. But you should probably get this out on a platform where everybody can see everything you have.
Exactly. And, to put a comment here, the fact you guys are getting frustrated with me is proving my point. No, it's not. It's when you come in here and go, I actually know the truth. I can tell you with absolute certainty, I know the truth. I witnessed it in Canada. Don't worry, America. Canada's got your back. All this stuff, it's constantly the same stuff. And you haven't given us any information. Keep talking about Queen Romana and stuff. And I asked you to send me all the information you've got, but you don't do email. I mean, who in the world doesn't send an email, right? Or can't send an email to someone with some information? right? So all we're asking. We don't want to ban anyone in any of our chats unless they're abusive or racist or just, verbally abusive to any of our guests or anything like that. The reason we have all the chat on our screen is two things. We want everyone to be able to see what everyone's saying coming in from all different platforms. We don't want to discard anyone or anything like that. But if it's constantly taking up the chat and you're not listening to what we're saying, you're just constantly reverting back to banging on about, we had Flat Earth Dave on the other day, and you were in here going, I don't give a shit what the Earth is, Queen Romana, Canada, and all this sorts of stuff. It's the same all the time. So unless you want to divulge any of that information, that's it. And what you said, Elisa, was absolutely brilliant there. We want to include everyone, but I haven't got short straw, but I'm not. We've had a few people that are regulars in our chat are getting a bit upset about it, right? So, and I don't want that. And that's the end of that. We shall decide what we're going to do a bit later. You've got our email addresses, you've got all our contact information if you want to send us some stuff. And there you go. Yeah. So, sorry, where were we? I'm glad we sort of addressed that.
No, we were just talking about the redemption centers, whether or not they exist. Do you go to a bank? What's the rate? Is it a negotiated rate? And also, I'm not a lawyer, but how could I get a rate that was negotiated by someone else? I didn't sign something to be part of a group. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? So if someone negotiated a rate, isn't that for them or their entity? So why are they going to honor me if I go in and say, oh, I'm part of what am I part of? I watch a show. I see this one.
So I think I've just remembered. I was going to say that if we move into a new system that is quantum financial system or whatever it is, or on the blockchain, and we get a Q phone and stuff like that, you might be able to go into your bank with $100 worth of Vietnamese dong or dinar or whatever, and then put 30 million credits or something into your account, right, which you can use for whatever you want. But I believe most people with a good heart, they might buy himself a bigger home and all that, and a nicer car, and somewhere with a garden, or things like this, or a couple of homes, right? But anyone that's going to have, say you had 30 million and you spent 10 million of it, you're not going to have 10 million 20 million sitting in the bank forever, are you? You and I, right, would be, what can I do with this money? How can I help people with this money? What can I put it into? I mean, I wanted to have a healing centre in the Alps, right? That's what I really wanted. And I want to move to the Alps anyway. And I've seen a lovely place, and it's got plenty of rooms for that, right? But I would want 2 places in the Alps. It was like a private residence and a healing centre. What better place to get well again than there, in the mountains and the sun and the trees and the rain and the snow in the winter, But that's when I'll be in Florida anyway. Yeah. In the winter, because I don't ski, I don't snowboard or any of that stuff.
I think that's what we all want to do, like I put a whole, when I thought you had to go through the QFS, there was that whole thing like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And but it was a good exercise because I put together a whole business plan.
1 second. Oh, yeah. Chicken lady there says, I'm also a witness to February the 3rd, 2022, Ottawa, Canada, had a military coup. Brilliant. I would love to see all the information about this, right? If you could email it to us, contact the Patriots Across the Pond, my email address, Elisa's. We'd love to see it, and then we can discuss it with you. But just, I know the truth. Oh, I know that he knows the truth. This sort of stuff. It is the QFS. Well, yeah, maybe it is. This is what we want. We're all fighting for the same goals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Truth and justice, having all the criminals arrested, saving the children so that children can live free and safe in future, so that girls can walk home in the dark without getting, in fear. Criminality just erased and moving into a beautiful world. So we're all on the truth. But don't, anyone that says, I know the truth, it's like going, but I'm not telling you. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, no, if you have, listen, and I'll go one better. If you guys want to come on the show with everything, we would love to have you on to show this, because that's what we do. Stu and I don't claim to know anything. Do we use our discernment when we listen? I mean, we listen to so many truthers and so many people and read so much, but I would never say, even if I would say it's my opinion. Like if I really felt like something is exactly the way it is, unless there's real empirical evidence, then I feel very confident to say, no, this is truth. This is what it is. This is the reality. But we can in good conscience come on here and just say, that something is true just because we've seen stuff. We try to show you guys. We have guests on that speak to those points. So you just said it's not a secret. It's out there, but I don't know where to look at this point because I haven't taken that journey with that. So you would be teaching me, just like, I'm sorry, Stu, just like Baz came on the other day. I heard of the Ark, but I didn't know all the details. That's why we have him on to talk about it. We have different people that we bring on so they can bring the research they've done. If we were experts in these areas, we wouldn't need guests. So if you are an expert, which it sounds like you guys are, let's do a show on it, because you guys seem to have done an awful lot of research. You know where to look, the dates and everything. As an American, I haven't kind of gone down that road, and I'd love to be educated by Canadians or those who understand that. What do you think, Stu?
Well, I just want to say it's not a secret. Look it up, right? We can all go down rabbit holes, but if I find out some information and someone says to me, "What's that information you found out?" I'm not going to say to them, "Go and look it up yourself." I'm going to go, watch this. This is what I've dug on. You have a dig on it yourself. What do you think? Now, it sounds like some people in the chat here, right, think you and I have just started doing this, right? We haven't. We've been doing this over 20 years. We've pretty much seen everything that's been going on, chatted about, right? We remember when Queen Romana came on the scene. It was big. Everyone was following it. Who's this? Do you know what I mean? And then it all filtered off into the distance. There was loads of people digging into us. This is a fraud. This is not a fraud. This is all bullshit. It's not bullshit and all this sorts of stuff. But I haven't got if someone's got proper information about that, I want to hear it, But not I know the truth and I'm not telling you. You go and search for it yourself. You fucking jog on.
Yeah. So we are opening the opportunity for anybody to come on for, a discussion, showing some evidence. Maybe there's some websites, documents, whatever that is. We have no problem. We're not locked into anything except that we really believe that the Patriots are in control. But, by evidence and empirical stuff that tells us that. Other than that,
I tell you what, I mean, look, I can only show you the door, right? Line out the matrix. Brilliant, right? We've all heard that, but that's not helping anyone, right? That is like, I know you don't. And I'm not interested in any of that. All the information we get, we share it about. That's why we do a show together, me and Elisa. And if you're going to come in here and bang on like that, you can fuck off.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about it.
My mind is totally open. Totally open.
My mind's always been open, which is why we discuss everything, which is why I heard about all that Queen Romana stuff a long, long time ago. No one's talking about it anymore.
I tried sending you guys the links you needed, but you chose to mute me on Rumble instead. What do you honestly want? Where did you send the links?
No, you didn't try and send me the links. That's absolute bullshit. Where did you try and send me the links? You certainly didn't send them on Rumble, and you said you wouldn't send me an email as well. When did you try and send them to me on Rumble? I want to know. I tried sending you guys the links you needed, but you chose to mute me on Rumble and said, "What do you honestly want me to do?"
Well, you're on YouTube now, so you're not muted here. So do you want to send the links now?
Yeah, or send us an email.
Or an email, of course. Yeah. All right, well, the door's open for that. But to just keep telling people that, it's not really helpful. It's not really high vibrational in the chat. Now, as far as Matt is concerned,
yeah,
I think we could assume
tried to send him 10 minutes ago
that he's not coming on.
You're full of fucking shit.
Oh, where did he send them? Where did you send them?
I've been asking him for them for weeks. Apparently, he's now tried to send them on Rumble, and I only muted him last night. It's bullshit. I'm not doing it. I'm going to mute him. Not interested.
All right. Well, in any case, I definitely don't want to speak for Matt in any way. But let's look at the silver price today.
Yeah, go on.
So I think we are around 59, 60.
Oh, I don't know.
So what does that say? Common sense wise.
Well, it's hovering there, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's definitely being held in some way. So as a non-financial advice giver, I would say get some. It seems like it's at a really good price. I know that personally, I bought silver, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. And I got it when it was at 20. So whenever that was, $19, $20. And then recently, not too long ago, I bought it and it was, I think, at 80, which I still thought was great, because we're anticipating it to go up pretty high. So from my perspective right now, I'm sort of in the red, right? But I don't care because I didn't buy it so that I could make a fortune on it in a month or 3 months or 5 months. But it would seem like it's a good idea. Matt is amazing to work with. His team is amazing. They're quick, they're efficient. And then, we always talk about the IRAs. So that I did a while ago. That I did about 3 or 4 years ago. And listen, guys, I don't have a lot of money, but I just did a little because I like to feel a little diversified and stuff. And what I always think is if I'm going to have some of my money in a bank versus having it in silver, I'd rather have it in silver because if you need that cash right away, you can get it. You'll be able to get it. It's probably faster. Like if you want to take out a lump sum out of the bank, at least here in the States, if it's more than a couple of $1,000s, you got to make an appointment. You can't just go there and pull it out same day. So with silver, that could all be done with Matt, like immediately. So to me, and then if it goes up, right, and you don't need your money for, you come down the road a few months, you have an expense, you have something very important you need that cash for, you can get it. So that's my 2 cents on it. So I feel safer. Let me put it that way, personally.
Yeah, definitely. Chicken Lady 1117 is, can we post links on here? No, you can't post links on here. And the reason why, and many other channels do this, is because anyone can post any links in here. Clickbait, scamming shit.
Porn, anything.
Right? So no one can post links in this apart from Elisa and I, right? And we do that for the safety of everyone, basically, because if we get new people come on and are not so aware and start clicking, oh, what's that? And all that, and it takes into these moody sites. That's why we do it, for the safety of everyone here. But all our details are under every video. Our Patriots Across the Pond email, right? My personal email, Elisa's personal email. There's numerous ways. My Telegram channel, right? I've got a Telegram chat channel. You can post stuff in there. There's so many ways to get messages to me, right? But then when I ask for these, it's like, I've tried to send them on Rumble. You've never tried to send them on Rumble. I've been waiting for 2, 3, 4 weeks asking you about this. Never. I put you on timeout last night and you tried to send them 10 minutes ago. It's a nonsense, right? Don't believe you, right? And now I've just got rid of that sleeping giant on YouTube because I'm just sick of this constant stuff. We're not getting any information, right? You have all the details. If you wanted to send us stuff, we're amazing people, and we get back to everyone. We comment, we're starting to do it on YouTube now. Everyone that ever comments on Rumble, I will reply and respond like that. Elisa's just started doing it on YouTube now. We're getting on top of this and everything. It's really good.
Yeah. So anyway, well, we're getting to the time where we usually stop with Matt anyway, but tomorrow's an exciting day. We've got 3 podcasts combined, right?
Yeah.
We have Scott McKay coming on, which I'm so excited about because he was probably the main truther back after the election, around election time, where I was definitely ready to jump out a window.
Yeah,
Reason.
He was one of the main people that really helped you out in this, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was, because, and I'll tell you why, it wasn't just his voice of reason. It was so many of the facts and the digging and the information that he gave. Like, I'm ashamed to say, but it's been a lot of information that people just didn't know. I had no idea about the Organic Act of 1871, no clue that the United States was a corporation, didn't know any of that. So he gave a lot of that information, put a lot of things in perspective. And of course, he has a, no nonsense way about him, which was really needed at that time, especially watching the absurdity of the election fraud and everything. And people, at that time, the country was so divided. So anyway, all that to say, I'm really excited that we're going to, now we're going to get to have him on tomorrow. He's also coming to the live event in October in Sedona, which, apologies, guys, we're still trying to negotiate everything. It's not just about getting the venue. It's about also making sure we have blocks of hotel space that are negotiated at a good price, that, when people start to buy their tickets, people that are traveling, so there's a lot of details. Once we get that, we'll be good to go, and we'll be able to share a lot of that and share the updated information on the website. However, all that being said, we do have, I think it's 25 or 26 speakers that have confirmed. So yes, Scott McKay is one of them. And then you have what are you up to now? Episode 4 or 5 on Join the Queue?
5.
Wow. Okay. So that's at 1 Eastern, 6 UK tomorrow.
6 p.m. UK. Yeah.
And then at 5 p.m. Eastern, which would be 10 p.m. UK, I go live with Laura Eisenhower and Emily Tarani on our Rising Through Motherhood. It'll be episode 2. So I invite you, a little bit different, a little more spiritual, a little more astrological, a little more coaching perspective on, motherhood and some of the challenges we have. We've all been through divorce. So we have, a lot of things about that process and being a single mom. And so tomorrow we'll have that. And we will be having guests, just so you know. So we're going to also book guests in on our shows going forward.
Yeah.
And that's it. We will not have Red Pilling Renee this Friday because he's on holiday with his family in Miami. And then, of course, Saturday, we're back with the family chat at 10 Eastern, 3 UK for 2 hours. Yeah. I think we're in good shape. Still,
that's good. Now, we said a few things today and that, and I just want to say, look, everyone is welcome in our chat, right? But we want people to join the discussion of what we're talking about. So if people just come in and repeat stuff and don't listen to what anyone else is saying, right? We don't really want that, especially people that just come in and swamp the chat, upset the regulars, right? We want you people in all the time, but we're one big friendly family. Not be, I know better than you and this, that, and everything. Anyone rude or racist is getting jogged on straight away. But it's like, if I've spoke to that sleeping giant guy, Clyde, I think his name's actually, on a few times, saying, can you send it to me here or send it to me there? And I never get anything apart from just coming back in the chat. Queen Mamana this, Queen Mamana that. It's just an ongoing thing. It's just repeating stuff and not delivering. You know, it's like hot air to me. So if Chicken Lady wants to send us some stuff on some Telegram or email and we can get it from you,
that would be great.
That would be amazing. It doesn't matter where it comes from. I don't want to mute anyone in this chat, right? But I want to concentrate on what we're doing on the show, and I want to side-eye the chat, seeing everyone getting on. Not everyone bickering, because if everyone's bickering in the chat and there's a troll here or a bot here and stuff like that, it takes my mind off the podcast. So I don't want that. I don't know, Elisa doesn't want that. You know, and I speak my mind. I always will do. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right. And I want everyone to be free. And if Clive wants to send me an email and stuff and some stuff, and we have a chat there, I'll unmute you straight away. And that's what it's like. Right? But other people that are regulars and all that have said, I think that, is this a bot? You know, is this, why does it say this? And it's upsetting. And some of the chat going across the screen when we had Janine on yesterday was vile. That's the last thing I want. You know? Because our guests can see that chat as well.
Yeah.
All right? And that's it. So Chicken Lady, Sleeping Giant, any of you, we love you all. We're all on the same side. But don't withhold information. You know, that's just ego. That is ego. We're all trying to get away from the ego. I know more than you. I know the truth. But you've got to go and look for it yourself. You know, this sort of stuff. And how is that helping? The whole point of me and Elisa doing this show is because we're digging, finding out information, watching other people and stuff, so we can put that information out to people watching, so that then they can go and tell their friends, and they can go and tell their friends. If me and Elisa sat here for an hour going like that, what do we know? Right, give you a little clue. Queen Romana, happy hunting, like that. It wouldn't be much of a show, would it?
Yeah.
No, exactly. So there, I'm not. And I don't want to talk about that anymore, do you?
No.
No.
But we'll just look forward. If you're sending it,
yeah.
Obviously we'll get it. We'll take a look at it. And listen, we try to talk about everything. So we don't have a problem with any content. It's just a matter of you know, if you know something or have some details that we don't have, then that's why we want you to share that, so we could share it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say something then, and I completely can't remember what it was. But I did see Badger Brock in the chat just say, "Can I come on now?" No, we're going to finish up now, but we're having our Patriots. See, Chicken Lady and Sleeping Giant every other Saturday, and we've got one coming up this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. UK time for 2 hours. We do this and we open it up. Anyone can come in, right? And we just have a nice chat. We had some lovely people coming on. It's a really nice place, and you can all come on. And we want to hear about your awakening journey, a little bit of your history, and any information you've got. So if you want to do it and you don't want to send, I don't do emails, right? Come on there, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Yep, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, and Frank, we see you on Saturday as well, hopefully. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he can make his first appearance, old Badger Brock. Yeah. Excellent.
Very
right,
cool.
That's it. All right, I'm going to play Matt Geiger's advert at the end. Where we go one, we go all, means all of us. None of us truthers are better than anyone else. We're all on the same side. You're either on the side of darkness or the side of light. There's no in between, apart from the abnormies that are mingling about at the moment, because I don't know what's going on. But if you give them a choice, you're with Satan or you're with God, people make their choice to go to the wrong side, and other people don't.
Right.
You know?
As far as Saturday goes, if you go where we have the link is always in the description box on Rumble. It's the same link all the time, right, Stu?
It's the same link. It's a permanent Rumble studio, StreamYard studio. On a Sunday, 3 days before. So, no, I've got to load up that. And then after we do Scott Mackay tomorrow, or one of the shows tomorrow, I will be loading the Saturday chat. So, Thursday, either sometime Thursday or Friday, I will send a post out on my Telegram channel, Awaken Patriots of Long Island, Elisa's Telegram channel, the We Not Me chat. Razor Wicks, the Razor Zone Telegram channel, and the XRP Shaman channel. I also put that link in on the Rumble upload. It will be pinned to the top of the chat. I also put it in on the Facebook post I make in our Patriots Across The Pond Facebook group, on the Instagram channel, on our Twitter account, and our True Social. So that's about 11, 12 places that link gets posted.
And one more, because if you go to our website, patriotsacrossthepond.com, you can enter your email and you'll get on our mailing list. And now every Sunday we send out our newsletter. It's not terribly exciting, but it does have the list of all the shows coming up for the week, as well as all the links. And if we have a family chat that week, that coming Saturday of the week, that link is in there as well. So you really can't miss it.
Yeah, there's a pop-up box that says join the fight. As soon as you go on the website, put your email in there and you'll get it. And what I have been doing, well, I've made a couple of changes, but I normally leave the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday headlines in there, even if I don't have a show. And I just put no show under it. Right. So that link should be there on every newsletter, even if above it says no show this week.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. Brilliant. All right, everyone. Where we go one, we go all means all of us. Yeah. See you soon. See you tomorrow for Patriot Street Fighter. See you later. Bye.
Your financial advisor isn't going to tell you this. Your bank won't mention it. And your 401k custodian, they're hoping you never find out. You can convert your retirement account into physical gold and silver. Real metal in your hands or stored exactly where you decide. It's called a gold IRA rollover, and it's 100% legal, 100% IRS approved. And your financial quote experts, they don't get a commission when you take control like this. Wall Street wants your money in their system, in their accounts where they control it. But physical gold, that's yours. Can't be hacked, can't be deleted, can't vanish when the market crashes. Verity Metals, we're the experts. They don't want you to call. Convert your IRA or 401k into gold and silver that you can actually hold. Call 1-888-318-7598 and quote Patriots Across the Pond.